What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk some injury report and Robert Saleh still not getting it. Really frustrating quotes from the head coach. We'll get into that. But first we have to start with the news of Aaron Rodgers showing up on the injury report. No secret, he got banged up in the game against the Denver Broncos. He's dealing with a swollen knee. Here's what the head coach had to say.
Tyron will be limited. Morgan, we're going to test out his knee a little bit, but and then you'll see Aaron limited, or not limited, but on the injury report.
So he'll practice fully with what specifically?
He's just dealing with his knee, but we're not concerned. It's for the spirit of the rule of if he's getting treatment on something, he's got to be on the injury report.
Patented, we're not concerned about it. And look, like, I'm not saying that he's in jeopardy of missing time or anything like that, but it just adds to the frustration of what the Denver Broncos game was for this team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was hit 14 times and sacked 5 times. It was by far the worst game from the offensive line all season. Really frustrating because the Jets offensive line through the first 3 games of the year actually played really well, especially in pass protection, but it just fell off a cliff this past week. Olu Fashanu, I know is a rookie. That was his first game. I think he's going to improve and the line as a whole will improve. It's pretty much only Elijah Vera-Tucker who looked good. Joe Tippmann, who was stellar for the first 3 games, didn't look great. Tyron Smith really struggled. John Simpson also struggled as well. Just overall, not a great showing. And when you have a 40-year-old quarterback, you're going to have to keep a close eye on these things. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to get banged up throughout the year. Regular bumps and bruises. I know he's just getting treatment. And like, I don't think it's going to be a major thing, but something to keep an eye on because we know what the Vikings game plan is. They are going to blitz. Brian Flores likes that. He's going to dial up the blitz. He's going to try to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be up to the offensive line to protect him and up to Aaron Rodgers to get the ball out quickly on Sunday. Think risk-free profits from sports betting sounds too good to be true? Well, it's very real, and you can secure guaranteed profits with OddsJam's arbitrage betting tool. Imagine buying sneakers for $10 and immediately selling them for $20. Arb betting works the same way. Sportsbooks all price their markets differently to stand out, and this creates opportunities for you to bet on both sides of a game and lock in profit no matter who wins. OddsJam scans millions of odds from different sportsbooks, and as soon as it spots an arbitrage opportunity, you get alerted. Minimal effort, maximum risk-free profit. Don't just take my word for it. Try it yourself with a 7-day free trial. Use the link below and enter code O'Leary for 35% off your first month. Unfortunately, we had more nonsense from Robert Saleh. First, I'm going to read you a quote, and then I'm going to play you a video of a different quote, but here's the first quote on him brushing off the penalties. "We'll continue doing the same things we've been doing," Robert Saleh said regarding changing anything to address the penalties. He pointed towards the fact that they hadn't had issues before the Broncos game. Excuses, not good enough. I'm sorry, that is not a good enough answer, especially when the Jets were penalized 7 times against the Titans. Maybe they didn't have too many penalties against the 49ers and the New England Patriots. That much may be true. But they're penalized 7 times against Tennessee and then 15 times, 13 accepted against the Denver Broncos this past week. This is also the team that was the most penalized team in the NFL in 2023. I get it. They've had some roster turnover in the last year, but it was very much so a problem last year. And it reared its ugly head and was a big reason why they lost this game against the Denver Broncos. And then he's still doing these quotes where he's talking about, oh, well, they want to be treated like men.
Does that have any effect in the NFL with the deterrent penalties?
Depends on who you talk to. I personally know they're men. They want to be treated like men. They already know they messed up. They don't need to be embarrassed. They need to know how to correct it. And I don't think doing push-ups is teaching a guy how to correct it.
Look, I get it. I'm not going to come on here and say like the Jets need Bill Parcells to run this team, a no-nonsense guy, because like those days are over. Bill Belichick's not coaching in the league right now. Bill Parcells, and like it's very hard sometimes because you get, and a lot of it comes from the Belichick tree, by the way. For example, I think the most recent one of Matt Patricia, who really tried to be hard-ass, like it's hard to be taken seriously in that role when you don't have the cachet to back it up as a head coach. But there's it doesn't have to be so black and white that it's like, hey, you got to be their best friend or you just got to be a hard ass and rip them the whole time. There's got to be some middle ground. That's my point in this. Like, it can't be, it doesn't have to be, rather, one extreme versus the other. You're allowed to be somewhere in the middle. And like when clearly they were, again, statistically, the most penalized team in the league last year, had a horrible, horrible, horrible game. And they had a ton of pre-snap penalties. And Robert Saleh's first response was, well, maybe Aaron Rodgers shouldn't do the hard count as much. Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to the Hall of fucking Fame. Sorry for the language. He is going to the Hall of Fame. And a big reason for that is because he utilizes his hard count. And that is a weapon that he uses. Don't make Aaron Rodgers adjust to you. He has accomplished significantly more in this league than Robert Saleh has and probably ever will. Like, honestly, guys, it just gets so frustrating to listen to his answers. And I know maybe we shouldn't just put any stock into what he says. I've been trying to say that for a while in his press conferences, but it just feels so tone deaf to have a game that you literally blew because of penalties and be like, yeah, we're not going to change anything about it. Like, that just feels so stubborn and just so frustrating. It's really, really hard to take. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers showing up on the injury report. Is he going to miss this game? No. Is it something to monitor? Yes, it is. And I think the coach brushed it off a little bit. And then just also other great news. There's not going to be any changes with the penalties. They're just going to continue to try to do things the same exact way and hope that something's different now going forward because they think vibes, I guess. Just vibes. It's going to be different. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.